Hi everyone, my name is Evangeline and I'm the owner of Makeup Tips, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can create this really beautiful 1960s style makeup look. It's sort of very mod girl chic and has that beautiful 1960s edge. It's very much inspired by the likes of Twiggy, Barbara Streisand, Audrey Hepburn and Priscilla Presley with that really beautiful dramatic mod eye. So first up, I'm starting off by tightlining my eyes with the Clarins 3-dot liner just to add some base and sort of definition at the base of my lashes to make them look thicker. Then I'm going in with the Tarte Clay Play Face Shaping Palette and I'm using the shade Smoke. What I'm doing is I'm using this on an angled brush just to sort of create a winged shape out of the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm sort of cutting my crease with the brush as well, and I'm going a little bit higher than where my natural crease falls with this dark shadow to sort of map out a bit of a shape that sort of has that 1960s edge. You can use a cotton tip here and there just to clean up the edges a little bit if you need to, and obviously you can go back in with the brush and the eyeshadow just to really intensify it and darken it as necessary. Then you can sort of move on to the next step. The next step is to use a beautiful shimmery sort of pinky eyeshadow. So in this case I'm using the Makeup Forever Aqua Matic shadow in the shade Metallic 54. So these have amazing pigment and amazing staying power. They can be a little bit tricky to blend, but since you're actually using this as more of sort of a cut crease style technique, blending isn't a necessary topic, so it's really perfect for this sort of technique. After you've applied that eyeshadow, that beautiful creamy sort of peachy pinky shade, you can go back in with that Tarte shadow or whichever dark shadow you're using and redefine and re-intensify sort of that cut crease shape. You really want to make sure that it's nice and bold and has that really beautiful chiseled sort of 1960s effect where there is that gap in between sort of the dark eyeshadow and the light shadow. You also might like to go in where the outer corner of the eye is and sort of apply a little bit of this shadow to the outer V or the outer corner of the eye, just so it looks a bit more tied together and cohesive. Now I'm going in with the Bourjois Little Round Pot eyeshadow in the shade number 7, Taupe Shimmer, and I'm using this to sort of soften it a little bit. So it's still got that beautiful intensity, but this has quite a bit of shimmer to it as well, so it really helps to catch the light and make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Obviously go back in with that Tarte shadow or the dark shadow with an angled liner brush and just create that perfect effect. You can go in with a clean sort of pencil brush and sort of soften the edges a little bit as well, just so that it looks a little bit more, I guess, chic and professional and a little bit more 1960s. Even though there was that cut crease, sometimes there was a little bit of softness to certain edges. Now I'm going on to the other eye and I'm using that Tarte Clay Play eyeshadow again in that shade Smoke, and I'm just creating that shape. So I'm applying that wing and then I'm sort of going back into the crease of the eye and sort of creating that cut crease. Now if you need to, you can definitely use tape to get your perfect effect. Use whichever techniques, tips and tools you feel necessary. I personally find it easiest to do this with a free hand, but do whatever works for you. Makeup is all about fun and sort of experimenting. Once you've created that shape, go back in again with that Makeup Forever eyeshadow and just sort of apply it in that bare area just so that you get that really beautiful intensity. Build it up as you need to and then go back in with sort of that beautiful shimmering taupe shadow and sort of really define sort of that outer corner and that outer V and create that beautiful effect. Go back in with an angled brush and that dark shadow as you need. And if you feel necessary, you can go back in and you can smoke it and smudge it out a little bit with a pencil brush as well. Now I'm just cleaning up any eyeshadow fallout and then I'm going to go in with the Smashbox PhotoFinish Hydrating Primer and smooth that over my skin. I will be using a silicone-based foundation and this is a silicone-based primer. For mascara, I'm using the Rimmel ScandalEyes Retro Glam Mascara. This is one of my old favourites and it's really great to sort of bring your old favourites out every now and again and have a play with it. So I'm really working at building intensity at the upper lashes using the wand to catch each and every single lash to create that really beautiful sort of doe-eyed effect. Then I'm also going to focus quite a bit on the lower lashes. So I'm actually going to hold the wand sort of vertically and paint each of the lower lashes individually just to create that really beautiful intensity and that doe-eyed sort of 1960s makeup look and effect. For the brows, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. This is a tried, true and trusted favourite. You know, it's so popular and it's popular for a good reason. The real beautiful preciseness of it makes it perfect for creating beautiful, soft, full and fluffy brows. So it's sort of a little bit Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor for the brows. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. So this is a sort of moussey, silicone based foundation, and it gives amazing coverage. So the 1960s was very much about that beautiful, perfect, sort of creamy skin, and this foundation definitely achieves that. You can go for a sheerer formula, you can go for a fuller coverage formula, but I think this foundation is perfect for this look as it gives that beautiful, matte, flawless airbrush skin. So I've just applied it a bit with my fingers. I've also gone in and buffed it out with a buffing brush, and then I'm just going in with my fingers where I need, just to make sure everything's blended, seamless, and to warm the product up a bit. Once I have done that, I'm going to conceal any of my imperfections, and I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer to do this. So I'm just dotting it underneath my eyes and then blending it out with my fingertips, and I'm also going in with sort of an airbrush style concealer brush as well, just to sort of buff it out and make sure that it looks really beautiful and softly blended. If you're unsure about this concealer or have issues with it creasing, make sure you check out my How to Use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer video. I'll leave a link in the description box below, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two. So for powder, I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. Tried, true and trusted favourite, basic product, does the job. For blush, I'm using the Revlon Powder Blush in the shade Naughty Nude. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of buffing this and working it quite well into the skin. And I'm sort of working it a bit underneath the cheekbone as well to give that really beautiful 1960s sort of defined and chiseled look. Really sort of working it into the skin. And this shade is sort of that bronzy, peachy sort of nude, almost a contour but not quite a contour shade. Also applying it onto the apples of the cheeks. And I'm also just going to go in with a bit of the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder and work that underneath the cheekbone and taking it onto the center of the cheek as well, because I think adding a little bit of traditional contouring can really help to modernize any makeup look. So there's a look at the finished look. I have also applied a little bit of the Burt's Bees lipstick in the shade Nile Nude just to give me that beautiful 1960s look, and I've also dabbed just the tiniest bit of hydrating concealer onto the lips and sort of rub them together to create that beautiful 1960s pout. Now if you want to intensify this eye makeup look a little bit more, which I highly recommend that you do, you can go back in with that angled brush and you can sort of shape out your lower lash line, and then go in with that Makeup Forever eyeshadow again and sort of apply it in between the waterline and that line that you've created. It's going to create that more 1960s graphic sort of eye and give it that little bit more intensity and really take the look to the next level. You can also go in with a little brush and sort of smudge it out a little bit so that it doesn't cut the eye off and so that it just softens it a little bit more. Make sure that you connect it to that existing eyeshadow look that you have created on the upper lash line. I also like to go in with a bit of the Laura Mercier Baked Eye Colour in the shade Ballet Pink just at the inner corner of the eye to brighten them up a little bit. Now for the lower lashes, I have just gone in with that Rimmel mascara again and a angled brush, and I'm just painting each and every individual lower lash just to create a little bit more of that bam, wham, thank you ma'am makeup. So there's the finished look. I've also popped on a little bit of sort of a shimmery lip top coat as well. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll leave some info in the description box below where you can learn more about the products that I used in this look and where you can follow me on all of my social media channels and networks.